Social Security benefits for spouses. All right, so I'm preparing for a meeting with this guy, good guy, and I'm looking at his right capital, and I notice that his spouse does not have any Social Security income. And I'm like, why? And the first thing that would jump out at me is she's a teacher, and she didn't pay into Social Security, so she'd be subject to WEP, windfall elimination provision, or GPO, government pension offset, and we need to get rid of those. Republicans. It's such an easy win. If you want to attract more women are teachers. A lot of teachers are subject to WEP and GPO. Thus, you should campaign on getting rid of WEP and GPO. It's insane. Anyway, this lady is not a teacher, so she's not subject to WEP and GPO. As such, she doesn't qualify for her own benefit on her own record because it looks like she has no earned income that she paid in the 40 quarters of Social Security. I can tell. Again, I haven't spoken to this guy. I'm preparing for the call here in about an hour. But he had his own Social Security benefit, but he had nothing for her. So my assumption was he thinks that he doesn't know that she doesn't get any benefits, and that's not true. A non-working spouse still gets spousal benefits. I'll prove it to you right here. You ready? We're going to go to Social Security. Benefits for spouses. When a worker, that would be your old buddy Josh, files for benefits, the worker's spouse, that would be Charlotte, may be eligible for benefit based on the worker's earnings. I'm the worker. Charlotte is the non-worker. Another requirement is the spouse must be at least 62. Yeah. The spousal benefit can be as much as half of the worker's PIA, primary insurance amount, which is, for simplicity, $3,000. So she'd get $1,500 of that, depending on the spouse's age. I hate when they say at retirement. It should be the spouse's age at filing. If the spouse begins receiving benefits before her full retirement age, again, Charlotte's full retirement age is different than mine. All right, but if she starts taking her spousal benefits before her FRA, it will be reduced. The spouse will receive a reduced benefit. However, if the spouse is caring for a qualifying child, it will not be reduced. That's good. Actually, that's a refresher, man. I've forgotten about that. That's good. If a spouse is caring for a qualifying child, the spouse benefit, okay, that's good. See what I'm saying, dude? Look, I'm a professional financial planner. If you expect me to remember all this crap, you're nuts, dude. You got to go back to the drawing board every now and again and see, because that's a refresher. I forgot about that. It's a good one right there. Then the question is, what's a qualifying child? I'm not going to get in here today. If a spouse is eligible for retirement benefit based on her own earnings, and if that benefit is higher than the spousal benefit, then we'll pay her own earnings. All right. So now we take my wife. All right. My wife, Charlotte and I literally just talked about this yesterday because we looked on Social Security. I can't get that. It's all cowlicks. Anyway, so the benefit is based on, we looked at Social Security Administration last year for her, and she was, I was going to get half of yours. I said, okay, good. So she'll get half of mine. All right. Now she has her own benefit. But let's say you are a Mennonite wife and you never worked, ever. You never worked. You still get a benefit based on freaking Jacob Armentrout's record if he had worked in the 40 quarters. And I'll show you right here. A spouse can choose to retire. I hate to say retire. To file is what it should be. File as early as age 62. I wonder why they do that. Why does Social Security say retire? Why do they insinuate that you're retiring and filing is going coincides? That's odd to me. There's a reason they're doing that, and I don't know why. To confuse people. That's what it is, but why? Because people say, well, I can't, because it makes people think they have to keep working before they can file. Only thing I could think. All right. A spouse can choose to file as early as 62, but doing so may result in a benefit as little as 32% of the worker's primary insurance amount. All right, so I'm 4 years older than Charlotte. We're presumed Charlotte never worked a day in her life. And trust me, dude, she did. She literally dug ditches. But she carried the weight when we were starting out. When we got married in 99, she was making more as a bond analyst than I was at Charles Schwab. Probably twice as much. Just FYI. She sacrificed. She'd be running a major bond fund, I guarantee. Because she was getting I'm telling you right now, she'd be running a major bond fund right now. And if she wanted to. If she didn't sacrifice her career for our family. If she did, you would not be here with your old buddy Josh. I'd be living on the largesse of my wife. I said, dude, you're crushing, Char. Keep it up. Let me live on that. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't. She goes, no, I'm going to raise the kids. Anyway, so check this out. Oh, so I was going to say. So now we got right here. So she is 60, she's 4 years younger than me. So let's just say for simplicity, I'm just saying $3,000 a month is my PIA. I'm going to file for my benefit at my FRA, which is 67. Now you got to pretend I'm filing at 67 and she's 62, just for simplicity. So I'll get $3,000 a month. I file it. She's only 4 years younger than me in real terms, so she'd be 63 in this regard. But I'm just using the worst case scenario. So I file at 67. I get $3,000 a month. She files at 62. She's going to get 32% of that. So 62, 3,000 times 0.325, she'll get $975. I hope that makes sense. Because she'll get half of my $1,500, but then it's going to be reduced another 17.5% because she's not her full retirement age. You getting that? I just clear it up again. If she files, if a spousal benefit is 50% of my PIA, she's entitled. If my PIA is $3,000 a month, she's entitled to half of that at her own full retirement age at 67. If she files earlier than 67, her half of my benefit will be reduced depending on what year she files. The worst case scenario is she get about 32.5% of my entire benefit. All right, hope that makes sense. So again, I get 3,000, she get about 1,000, 975. For a spouse who is not entitled to benefits on her own record, the reduction factors apply to the base spousal benefit, which is 50% of the worker's PIA, like we just talked about. They'll give an example. For an example, if a worker's primary insurance amount is 1,600 schmackaroonies, and the worker's spouse chooses to begin receiving benefits 36 months before her normal retirement age, we take the first 50%, which would be $800 because my benefit is 1,600, and then that's her base spouse benefit. And then we compute the reduction factor, which is all this right here, 25%. So she gets $600. So if my benefit was $1,600 and she filed 33 years before her full retirement age, she gets $600 because the spouse benefit would be 37.5%, even though she's not entitled to benefits on her own earnings record because she never worked. I hope that makes sense, dude. And if you're modeling this, you're not using your spousal benefits, you're nuts. Because she'll get something. I mean, in this case, she'll get something. I don't know, a good Mennonite name. Gretchen Armentrout. That's a good German Mennonite name. So I say Jacob, is that what I call him? Jacob Armentrout is getting $3,000 a month. Gretchen Armentrout can get $975. That's $4,000 a month. That's your money. Again, we'll do another video on WEP and GPO because it's a con show. So I guess real quick, the issue is, well, why if Gretchen Armentrout never worked, why would she get a half a spousal benefit and a full survivor benefit too upon Jacob Armentrout's death? How come freaking Lisa Smith, who's a teacher in Texas, she'll get a WEP, she'll be subject to WEP, and then she doesn't get anything from a GPO based on Jacob Armentrout's death. The government pension offset, she'll lose the whole thing, the whole survivor Social Security benefit. That's not fair. Republicans, the opportunity to increase your status with women is right there. Yeah, it's just two wings of the same bird, dude. Yeah, idiots. They don't do this. All right, love your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter down below. Locals, subscribe. We go live on Locals every Friday at 4 p.m. So don't forget to subscribe there as well. We'll see ya.